Fights lightweight division. First, fighting out of the B2 digital blue corner, he stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 152.9 pounds with a record of 1-0. From Twin Falls, Idaho, please welcome Tim "No-Soul" Cameron. Opponent fighting out of the red corner, he stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 153.5 pounds, making his MMA debut with us tonight, representing Sidekicks MMA from Nampa, Idaho. Please welcome Colton Armas.
As we're just about ready to go, Tim Cameron and Colton Armas. And again, when we saw Tim Cameron at Front Street Fights 11, he really came out with a lot of energy and took the fight to the ground and had a lot of success. We'll see what his approach is here against Colton Armas, who gets his first taste of MMA action. As already Tim Cameron pushing Colton Armas up against the cage wall. Colton Armas.
A decent sprawl.
Good control there by Tim Cameron to keep Colton pushed up against the cage there. Just 25 seconds into round number 1. Tim Cameron with the takedown.
Yeah. Let's see. You know, this is where an amateur, your debut kind of, you know, this is where you can kind of panic. So we'll see how he can recover from this. You know, he's let him pass the full mount. This is bad. He's up against the cage. So, you know, we'll see.
If you've got somebody that's on full mount, obviously that's not the ideal situation, and in any fight you train for the not ideal situations. If Colton wants to get out of this right now, what does he need to do? Does he need to slow down, relax, push against the cage? What's Colton's strategy at this point?
I mean, right now where he's at, you know, it's kind of a double-edged sword. You can't give him too much space, but you don't want him smothering you. You know, he did the right thing, I think, there. You know, you got to give up your back. Now you're worried about one thing. Worried about
Tim Cameron getting the heel hooks in there, establishing more control as we are just about halfway through round number 1. Again, all fights in the amateur portion of the card at 3-minute rounds.
Oh, you just got to shake him off. There we go. He's kind of doing the right things. He's building the base.
Again, Tim Cameron, good job there with the back position, trying to keep the heel hooks in there, using the fist when he can. Good roll through there by Colton Armas.
I believe Colton's wrestling.
What?
that's a wrestling thing right there. Let's shake him off, roll him off. But, you know, he has those hooks in pretty deep, and now he's got to defend against the strikes. This is
How hard is it when, you know, obviously the heel hooks, they're a control thing, but when somebody gets both of them in and they have them in really well, how much does that really limit your mobility?
I think depending on your knowledge and how well you've trained, and it just depends. You know, I honestly don't think it's that hard to get those out. Taller guys, it can be a tricky task, but, you know, the big thing is you got to pick one, you got to clear it. He's not really trying to do either. He's just kind of letting him sit on his back and now
45 seconds left. Referee Mike Mickelson instructing Colton Armas. He's got to do something, but Tim Cameron
I think
going
he's got
for
the
the
chin
rear
under
naked
it,
choke.
but it's
Oh,
the blood.
he is leaking. Colton is leaking.
He had his chin
Obviously,
under it.
one of those shots that Tim got did connect with Colton as we approach the final 25 seconds left.
You know, he's got a short time. His corner should be yelling here right now for him to just kind of cover up and weather the storm. And you get a whole new fight, a whole new round the next round, and you got to kind of remember to have short memory.
Referee Mike Mickelson giving the instructions. Colton has got to do something and show something in these final 10 seconds, or he is going to call this fight. Looking though, we're probably going to get to round number 2 at this point.
Yeah, I think even though he got hit, he got popped, he's bleeding. I think Colton did a good job. He was showing he's trying to defend. He was showing, you know, he defended a choke. He never kind of went stale. When you go stale and you just need a couple shots, that's when they'll stop it.
And you can see the damage there inflicted by Tim Cameron on Colton Armas as we go to the Project Filter replay brought to you by Project Filter. You decide when, we'll show you how. Visit projectfilter.org. And this was really the takedown at the beginning of the round that started it for Tim Cameron.
Yeah, you know, and he did the right things. You know, he tried to defend it very well. You know, he took some shots, which you're going to do, but, you know, he defended the big thing. He defended the choke.
Now, Scott, when Armas is going for the roll-throughs, that's how he's trying to recover when he's in that position. Going to this second round, if he finds himself in that position again, What's the strategy to get out a little more clean and establish some body position himself?
You know, I was always told you don't let a guy take your back, you don't give him the hooks. That's the defense.
Don't get in a bad situation to begin with. That's fair.
You don't put yourself in that bad situation. But if you find yourself there, you just got to fight out. I mean,
as we get ready for round number 2 between Tim Cameron and Colton Armas, we are definitely looking for more action from Colton Armas. As you heard a couple times, referee Mike Mickelson instructing Colton he's got to do something and not be a punching bag. We are underway in round number 2. Good swing and a miss there by Tim Cameron. Colton Armas taking advantage, trying to land a shot, not having much effect. A good flying knee by Tim Cameron. Good speed to start the second round by Tim.
Tell you, Matt, the last time we saw Tim Cameron at Front Street Fights 11, he dominated the first round just like we saw earlier here tonight, but it was the second round we saw some fatigue. We saw him resort to striking. He's aggressive here to start the second round against Colton Armas.
Yeah, you know, he pushed right in. He knows he's a little bit of a better wrestler, so I think that's why he's trying to close that gap. You know, and it worked. He got the takedown. He's in control.
2 good shots there by Tim Cameron. A third one right there. Starting to see a little bit more of the same that we saw in round number 1.
Yeah. I mean, Colton's got to fight to get up. He's got to either work for a submission or he's got to get back to his feet, because this isn't going to win a fight.
And that's something that obviously referee Mike Mickelson is going to watch. Fighter safety is a big concern anywhere in mixed martial arts. And if a fighter's not showing, if Colton's not showing the ability to continue on the fight, he will call it.
Yeah, although, just being on bottom and controlling a guy, which he's doing fairly well, he's got to look for some submissions, though. He's got to either try and submit or escape. Otherwise, he's going to have this happen.
Tim Cameron trying to get those shots on, just barely missing with a hard right hand on there that would have done pretty good amount of damage as we get over the halfway point of round number 2.
Yeah, he's past the full mount. And there it is.
And again, going for the back position. We saw this a lot in the first. Tim Cameron's got those legs hooked around the waist, trying to get the elbow under the chin to get the full lock in.
The thing with amateurs, you got a minute now. He's really got to take his time to either sink this in before the round ends, or land some good solid shots, enough to make that ref stop this fight. And at this point, with as inactive as Cameron is, it's not going to take much.
50 seconds left in round number 2. Again, good flurry, good energy to begin the second round from both fighters, and kind of getting back to what we saw at the end of the first round. Tim Cameron on the back, trying to land those strikes, but Colton Armas showing a little bit more resistance in this round.
He's trying to cover up, but that's not going to win. I mean, that's not going to save you always. If Cameron decided to throw off some shots or go for this, he's going to be in trouble. He's looking for an arm bar. He's looking for something.
To this point, Armas has just been trying to hang on for most of what we've seen thus far.
Yeah, he's just trying to survive right now, and that's not going to win a fight for you.
As he's got 10 seconds left to hang on, with Cameron hanging on to him.
Final 10 seconds of round number 2 here. Colton Armas really just trying to hang on to get that last break to get into round number 3 as we end round number 2. And you got to think at this point, as we get ready for the Project Filter replay brought to you by Project Filter, you decide when, we'll show you how. Visit projectfilter.org. The early takedown in the round yet again by Tim Cameron. Again, Colton Armas, you saw a lot of resistance there, but it was that left punch to the jaw that really dropped Colton there.
Yeah, the strike didn't look that big, but he got him off balance, and that's the thing is, you've got to control where you're at. You got to have a little bit of awareness of what's happening.
Hey, we saw a lot of this in the second round and in the first round as well, Scott. Colton Armas is covering up. He's trying to withstand the hits from Cameron, but in this third round, Colton Armas is going to have to make a move.
Like I said, just trying to survive is not going to win you a fight. This isn't the Simpsons, and taking punches for 3 rounds is not going to win you a fight to push someone over.
Now, what you've seen from Tim Cameron thus far, he's obviously controlled this fight. Have you seen openings that Colton Armas could take advantage of?
100%. If I'm in Colton's shoes, I go out there and I try and finish this fight. I don't want to go on to a decision. I haven't been threatened. I want to be explosive. I want to be exciting. I want him to bring me back, and that's how you get up to the higher ranks.
And here we go in the third and final round between Colton Armas and Tim Cameron. Another flying knee there. Good right hand by Colton Armas again.
You've got to be careful,
though. He knows he's got to finish this one.
You've got to be careful. Even though you won 2 rounds, there's always that one MMA, 1 second.
One punch will change everything.
One mistake, and you're done. Doesn't matter what you did rounds
I'll
before.
tell you, it's one of the reasons I think we've seen the takedowns from Cameron as effectively as we have. When Colton Armas has looked to strike, Cameron's gotten inside very efficiently early in rounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the old saying, if it's not broke, don't fix. Or if it's not broke, why fix it? He's just gonna keep going back to it. He's gonna get the win, but I was always kind of fighter like, if I'm winning this, I'm gonna win it exciting. I'm gonna make it exciting.
In your experience, Scott, obviously your wealth of knowledge, the fights that you've been through, I'm sure you've been in that position knowing you're going into a round, you have to know at this point, if you're Colton, you're down 2 rounds. What's your motivation this round? What's your strategy?
Win at all costs, man. I mean, if you have to make some mistakes, put yourself in a bad position to get away, like here, if you got to do something. Just hanging on. He's got a head and arm choke, but you're on bottom. You have no pressure, and the guy's just gonna pull out. So, I mean, he's got to try for something. You got to take a risk. You're going to lose otherwise. You can either lose fighting back or you can lose just laying there.
On the throat.
Minute and a half left in this fight between Tim Cameron and Colton Armas. Again, you can hear referee Mike Mickelson calling out the instructions for fighters to watch out for fouls that could cost them penalties, cost them delays. Again, Tim Cameron doing a good job keeping Colton pressed against the cage, striking when the opportunity is presented to him.
Yeah, and Cameron knows he has this one. He knows he's got to keep him stacked up against the cage. He hasn't been threatened by anything. You just got to keep him there. He's got a minute to hang on. He's got this fight.
Good 3 or 4 shots attempted by Tim Cameron there. Maybe a couple of strikes. They're not fully as effective as Tim may have wanted them as we enter this final round.
There it is. Never mind. This is MMA.
Oh, there it is right there. He's going for an armbar. Brings him down to the ground.
He's got him in a triangle.
Yeah, triangle
and
choke.
it's tight. He's pulled the head down.
It's that one mistake, Andy. You called it. You said it, Scott. It can change in the blink of an eye. For 2 rounds and almost 3, Tim Cameron absolutely controlled that fight. You said it could happen out of nowhere. Colton Armas won at all costs.
MMA nothing is guaranteed in this sport. Nothing is guaranteed. You have to fight till the end.
As we enter the Project Filter replay, brought to you by Project Filter. You decide when, we'll show you how. Visit projectfilter.org. This is the move that changed it all. Tim Cameron going for the strikes. Colton Armas sitting back, in control, waiting for the opportunity. He had it. He locked in the triangle choke, and that was all she wrote.
That's all it takes. One mistake. And it doesn't matter what level you're at. It could be at the highest level in the UFC, or it could be the amateur ranks. And one mistake.
Now, Scott, exactly when you're looking at Tim Cameron, who again is in control of that fight, where's the error that he makes that opens him up to Cameron? Where can you spot where Cameron has that window that he pounces on?
Right there, he really, he's got him in position against the cage. There's no reason to be draped over and hung down with his, I always say, you can't do anything with your butt above your head, and you can't, and that's where he was at. There's no reason for him to be hung over like that, just letting his arms kind of dangle. You either strike or your arms are out. Or tight into your body.
Let's go back inside the cage for the announcement from Matt Johnson.
Choke at 2 minutes and 12 seconds of round number 3. Your winner, fighting out of the red corner, Colton Armas.